Hi there guys, it's been a while since my last video, and that's because I'm busy doing my exams. Anyway, I've been working on quite a few projects, but one of the projects I've been working a lot on is getting to know these 4-digit 7-segment displays, such as this one, and this even has punctuations. I'm using a 595 chip to run them, meaning I can serialize the output from a Arduino or tiny chip into this and control the display. That is much easier than running it directly from the Arduino. Plus, I can adjust the voltage on different numbers, and then you say, well, why would you want to do that? Well, let's see if I can do this. So I'm going to cover the address a bit. Well, you can see my address, but I'm not sure the guy who sent it wants to let me show his address. Anyway, I got this from the Ukraine. Yeah, that's my address right there. But he sent me these, and there was actually a problem when they arrived. First of all, it came from Ukraine, so all post is really thoroughly controlled from that. But it had something from the Soviet Union inside, and I'd like to show you what that is. Well, it looks like this when you open the box, just a bunch of rolls of paper. Looks dangerous, right? But it really isn't. It's a bunch of old Soviet tubes. Well, I would call them Nixie tubes, but they're not. These are VFD tubes. And they are awesome. Unfortunately, I have only been able to find instructions on the pinouts in Russian. But after trials and error, this one has been sacrificed in the name of experimenting, I'd say. I burned this one out because you have to use it's rated to 36 volts, but it's very, very different from you normally use, and I think this one is common anode. Yeah, think. But I got it working in a similar fashion to this one, except this Russian one looks really, really awesome. It has vertical stripes in yellow, and the digits actually show up in blue greenish color. The reason this is cool is because it's transparent, meaning I can add some sort of backlight to it or a background, or place it on a piece of print, and you would get the print to show through it. That's awesome. So expect some sort of project using these. I imagine making I got 10 of them, so I'm thinking about making some sort of countdown timer, or even a watch. I got some some clocks laying around I'm not using, so that could actually be quite cool. And I know it's rated for high voltage, but I'm actually able to run it as low as, I think I was able to get the digits to show around, I think it was 7 volts or something like that. That's cool. That's very cool. 7 volts, meaning 12 volts is quite safe. But for this to work, I showed you in a previous video my homemade transformer or power supply, and I'm going to use this little camera and show you it right now. Here we go. There we go. I have the transformer hooked up right now. You can see it's outputting 12 volts. I'm getting 14.78 in right now. 0 amps right now. Of course, I can turn the amps off and it will just go crazy, but that's just a small modification I made over here. Let's just ignore that for now. That brings me to my second project. Not long ago I showed some flashing lights. I used the NeoPixels. I made a NeoPixel video and showed how to build police lights. Well, I had another idea. Why wouldn't you just build these flashing lights, as you can see, on modern police cars and worker cars? You can see it's all the same. They are just different colors, colored LEDs, or they're just white with colored glass. But why not use those NeoPixels in one unit, and then you can just set the unit color depending what type of vehicle they are mounted on. So I was thinking, and being right here, you can see I have 3 NeoPixels right there, 4 buttons, and a AT-tiny. So if I click this one, it's actually flashing blue right now. If I click this one, it's switching to yellow. And if I click this one, it's red. And this one is off. There we go. So that means this small AT-tiny can control a very large amount of these NeoPixels, and you don't need to use the tiny to power it. Of course, you'll use something like it needs its own power supply to power the NeoPixels, but then you could really just use a AT-tiny or a similar chip that's just as cheap. And the reason for the AT-tiny idea is because it's very, very cheap. And it works. I would call it relative high performance. So, even though it's only an 8-bit chip, but that's fine. You could design flashing lights for police cars or anything like that, and you can have a setup where you could have a, well, I guess 1/28 amount of these lights on a car controlled by a single tiny chip. And then you just really modify the code uploaded to the chip and have a on-off switch. Maybe even have some of the vehicles have the option to switch the color in whatever reason they might have for that. So maybe I'll look into that next time. And finally, I got some new toys. I got a bunch of these small cameras. And if you take the lens off, you can see it right there. This is the OV7670, I believe. Yes, OV7670. And I think they're really, really cool because they can really teach you a lot about how a camera works. And if you unscrew the lens itself, you shouldn't really do this, but why not? If you look down there, I'm going to turn it a bit. You can see there's something flashing in there in the middle. That's actually a unprotected photosensitive chip that's going to take the image shown in front of it and convert it into a digital signal. How awesome is that? So with this, the NeoPixels, we can make our own camera. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. I didn't really have any tutorials, but I'll upload the code for the flashing tiny thing here on my website. See you later. And remember, if you have any questions, use the website or Facebook or right here in the comment section on YouTube. Bye.